In this video, we are going to multiply numbers written in scientific notation. And in order to do that, what we're going to do is multiply the first factors together, and then, using the rules of exponents, multiply the second factors together. All right, let's do it. So we see that our first factor here is 2, and our first factor here is 3. So I've got 2 multiplied by 3. And then my second factor is going to be 10 to the negative 5th. And remember, if I'm multiplying exponents, what do I do with them? I add them. Right. Okay, so 10 to the negative 5th plus 11. And 2 multiplied by 3, of course, is 6. And negative 5 plus 11 would, of course, be 6. So this would be the same as 10 to the positive 6th. And that would be my answer. All right. I'm going to pause for a second and set up a second example. And now let's take a look at a second example. In this case, my first factor on the left is a 6, and here it's a 4. So I'm going to multiply 6 by 4. And my second factor is I've got 10 to the 4th and 10 to the negative 7th. So this is going to be 10 to the 4th plus negative 7. And 6 multiplied by 4 is 24. And 4 plus negative 7, of course, would be 10 to the negative 3rd. All right, I'm going to pause here for a second and give you a moment to see if you notice that there's something wrong with this problem. Okay, hopefully you saw it, and that is that this first factor, it is larger than 10. And as you recall, the first factor in scientific notation has to be greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10. And the second factor has to be a power of 10. So the second factor works, but the first one doesn't. So what I need to do is rewrite this factor so that it is greater than or equal to 1 or less than 10. And in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease the factor by a power of 10. In other words, I'm going to divide 24 by 10. If I divide 24 by 10, I'm going to move the decimal point one place, and now I've got 10.4. So essentially what I've done is I've decreased 24. I've divided 24 by a factor of 10. Well, if I've done that, what do I need to do here to 10 to the negative 3rd? What I need to do here is I need to increase the second factor by a factor of 10, or a power of 10. In other words, this was 10 to the negative 3rd. Now I need to rewrite this as 10 to the negative 2nd. And why am I doing that? Well, I have to account for the fact that I made this number smaller by dividing it by 10. And what did I do here? I made this number larger by the same factor. 10 to the negative 2nd is 10 times larger than 10 to the negative 3rd. 2.4 is 10 times smaller than 24. Okay, think about that for a minute, and hopefully you will see that that's your answer. All right.